Hello, Mr. Randy Duck, and welcome back for another video. Today we have two replays to show you in the brand new Tier 8 American Premium tank, the M26 Pershing T99. Now firstly, just want to apologise about delaying getting this video out. Unfortunately, when I went to make the replay or get the replays, Xbox Live was down, and then life got in the way. So we're a little bit delayed, but we got there in the end. Now what I'm going to do is, before we get onto the videos, I'll quickly briefly go over the tank, and then we'll just get into the replays where I can just show you what exactly this tank can do. So if you've ever played the Tech Tree Pershing American medium tank, very similar tank. It is a Pershing, with the exception that this tank has the rocket launchers as a secondary weapon. So we will come to that, but firstly I'll just go over the normal statistics of the tank. You've got a 240 alpha gun with 221 penetration on your standard rounds, with a shell velocity of 975, which is okay, not great. On your premium rounds, you've got 268 penetration with a shell velocity of 1,219. So if you're firing the premium rounds, this gun will feel a lot better, because it is slightly on the derpier side, but if you run stabs, it's really not too much of a problem. Probably the key thing about this tank, the strongest element of this tank, is actually its DPM. It has fantastic DPM. I've got with my setup, which you'll see shortly, the DPM to about 2,861, and you can do a lot of damage in a short space of time with this tank. I've always really enjoyed the Pershings. You've got 10 degrees of gun depression, so you can use those ridge lines quite well. Decent mobility, not the best, but you have got a top speed of 48 kilometers an hour, so it's kind of in the middle of, not the quickest medium, but not the slowest either. Yeah, overall, I really enjoy the tank, I'll be honest. The armor's okay. It's got that sort of armor where you can bounce shots, you will bounce shots, but you certainly shouldn't rely upon doing it. It's not like you can't reliably bounce shots, if you know what I mean. It's just one of those ones. So don't be frustrated if you do get penned, but that's the best way to look at it, I think. But then, obviously, what you do have, which sets it apart from the other Pershings, is the rocket launcher. So you've got a 4-shot rocket launcher, 300 alpha per shot on the rockets. So you do over 1,000 damage if you hit or pen all those 4 shots. You have a penetration value of 72, which is okay. You can pen a lot of the rear of a lot of tanks, really. Obviously, there's going to be a few tier 10s, etc. you won't be able to. But a lot of the rear tanks you can pen. And even the side of some tanks you can pen, especially those Tigers, or you can pen some lower plates. It can be a little bit, the thing with the rockets, it's kind of thing I actually like. They're not really too overpowered, because obviously it's not like Cold War where you can just, auto aim on. These, you have to aim the shells, they're not got tracking or guided or anything. And they've got very slow shell velocity, so you're not really going to hit a lot of things at range. It's only really going to get those odd shots where you come behind stuff and things like that. But you will have moments if you fight like Tyrans, for example. If you sneak up on a Tyran, you can do a lot of damage quite quickly. But that's pretty much a tank. I'm conscious that I'm rambling on for too much now, so let's just get into the replays and we can just see what this tank can do. So let's move on. Right, so here we are for replay number 1, where we are on Great Wall and we are bottom tier. Now, if you want to see the equipment and crew setup we are using, you will see that at the bottom of the screen as we speak. There's 2 artilleries in this game, and as you can see, initially I wanted to try and push this side and go and use a ridge where I can use my 10 degrees of gun depression. Unfortunately for me, only my friendly Emil is coming with me, and that is just not going to be enough tanks to deal with that. So I'm going to have to change my plans and push aside. I really don't want to do, but there's nothing I can really do. I can't go down there with 1 tank. It's not going to end well. And as what often happens on Great Wall, you kind of get all your tanks push up that one sort of 0 line hill, which is never really a good play, if I'm honest, to send all your tanks there, because you're really kind of limited to what you can do from that one position of the map, and you don't take a lot of control of the map. Generally speaking, on most maps, if you control the centre, you're going to get a better chance of winning. But from here, yeah, you don't control a lot. But I'm going to have to make do and just play to how my team's playing And I'm going to do somewhat of a risky decision here and try and make this cross and get into the middle of the map, so I can get behind the rocks and maybe try and get side shots on these tanks on the right hand side. It is risky, but like I say, I don't want to be sitting there camping. It's boring, and I've got to try and do something and play to my team's positions, if you like. So I'm making a cross, hoping that I get spotted late. I do get spotted, but I'm going to just pray that I get there with some hit points left. Thankfully, these detractable bits of buildings have probably blocked a lot of shots in the enemy team, and we have made it to where we want to be. And now we're going to in a position, if they do like tanks like this, we might be able to lean and get shots on. But conscious, obviously very conscious behind us if they do come behind us, so we're going to try and use this rock to protect us. Trying to keep this Mauser. I do actually bounce a shot there. One thing, you saw I fired my rockets there. One thing where the rockets can be very good for, obviously I'm not going to pen the Mauser with my rockets, but they can be quite handy. If you see, I use them to destroy the destructible cover. That's one thing I've found the rockets very, very handy for. Like, if a tank's hiding behind some cover, you can just blow up the cover and then you've got a clear shot. So they're very good at getting rid of destructible cover. So you don't necessarily, they're not always there to just do damage, because most of the time, like, for example, firing the rockets at this range, I'm never going to hit that tank. Never going to hit that tank unless he's just trapped or just completely stays there. But it can be good for things like that. So I'm in a predicament. I've got tanks in front of me. The only thing I've got going for me is the tanks you can see just behind me, where I'm not looking, just behind us now. If I can keep them spotted, which I can probably proxy spot almost from where I am, and those tanks could get shot from our tanks on the hill. So I'm just going to have to stay very patient. And this is this Great Wall game plays out very strangely, which is kind of why I wanted to use it, to be honest with you, just to show you, like, not every game's the same. Just to have to try and adjust and stay patient. And patient really is the key here, because I know that there's a 58 heavy on the top. He can kill me in 2 shots potentially, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just staying patient, staying behind this. One thing I've got going for me is there's a lot of guns behind me. So if that tank decides to full send me, in theory he should get shot by a lot of tanks, and I might even get some assistance for it. And that's kind of my plan. Just stay patient right now, look for where shots we can get in. I'm trying to use this big rock behind us to block line of sight as well, obviously line of sight, but also to stop them spotting us. We do have shots onto this object in the middle, trying to just get some shots in. You can see the good DPM. I mean, you get the reload without food to about 5 seconds. Get it under food, down to sort of 4.5 or something like that, when 4.6 when you activate your food. So your DPM is really nice. And we are starting to pick up some assistance here, which is good. So we've got 1,400 damage now of our own, 1,200 assistance. Going to see if I can lean on and get shots into this medium here. Conscious that I make sure that big rock is always covering me from the 58 heavy, so I don't lose 750 alpha from his 3-shot autoloader gun. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. We are slowly starting to win the game. In fact, it looks like the enemy team didn't take that much around the other side either, so maybe we could have even battled at that side, but we wasn't to know that. And going there with 1 mil 2 was probably never the play, to be honest with you. It was always going to end one way, especially with the 2 artilleries who could also shoot you that way. So there's a Sturm Tiger here trying to look to, I think I'm just using the rockets here because I just wanted to try them out. I think it's maybe one of my first games in this tank, I think. Not first or second. But obviously I was never going to pen the Sturm Tiger there with the rockets. Probably should have just shot his lower plate. Would have been the smart thing to do, but you got some rockets, I just wanted to fire them. One thing I do also like about the rockets is quite cool. Like the actual visual of the rockets on your side of the gun. When you fire them, they do actually unload, so you don't have to, you always know when your rockets are ready to fire, because you can physically see them in the tank, so you don't always have to look down at that sort of like the ammo icon, which is, I find that pretty cool, to be honest with you, and quite a handy little feature as well. So this enemy 58 has pushed up right up to this ridge. Now, like I say, if he wants to come around onto us, we're going to make him eat a lot of shells to do it. Unfortunately, the artillery, as you can see, is aiming on us. Now, I don't think the artillery has a shot at us if we're actually behind this rock. I think he's just either waiting for us to move forward to get a shot in, or just holding his icon on us to be a bit annoying. So, yeah, I'm just going to try and stay safe from that enemy fun police, aka artillery, whilst we really just want this 58 heavy to fire. Once he's fire, we can try and get a shot in with his interclip. He's got quite a long interclip, and then we can get back into cover. But we really just want this tank to take out. He has fired there, so I have got an opportunity now to get the shot in, and he is a one shot, so we do get our first kill of the game. And more importantly, getting rid of the tank, which was in a nuisance position for us. Still a very close game, as you can see, 9 versus 8. But with that T58 heavy destroyed, it just gives us a lot more freedom now to try and do some stuff. I've just realised I've actually blocked almost 2,000 damage here, so you can actually block shots on this tank. It's one of those ones where you like I say, you can't reliably bounce shots, but you can also bounce shots. You know what I mean? I've bounced quite a lot in this tank, even though it's something where I never play it to think, right, I'll bounce that and then get a shot in. Get our second shot of the game, second kill of the game, killing that VK there. And this game is starting to look a lot in our favour now, and we're just trying about get as much damage in as we possibly can. Try to track the Dragon there, fire rockets, which I get a few bits of damage in that Dragon just while we was waiting for our main gun to reload. And now hopefully we can pick up the kill, which we do, confirming our 4th kill of the game, putting us onto 2,200 damage, 1,400 assistance, and only 3 tanks remaining. You have 2 enemy fun polices, 1 enemy heavy tank, and we're full health. We've actually not eaten any damage this game. Like I say, played out very, very strangely. But I don't want this artillery to one-shot us, because he's clearly hard aiming on here, and I'm thinking, you know what, he's detected here, he's probably going to get shot. He does get shot, we pick up a load more assistance. Was kind of waiting for him to, our team just to get with us a little bit. Now we do get the kill, and I notice the artillery on the left. Can we get the rocket shots in? Fire away. Yes, we do. And we end up with getting a kill with the rockets, which is always quite fun when we kill the fun police. And that brings us then to replay number 1. But we do have one more replay to come. So let's move on to the second replay of this video. Okay, here we are for replay number 2 on 7 Grosas. This time it is tier 10 matchmaking again, so both replays are actually bottom tier, which is always quite nice to show it off how it does in the bottom tier lobby. If you do well in the bottom tier lobby, you're going to be able to do well in the when you're top tier as well. So yeah, I'm not a massive fan of this map, if I'm honest, but from this spawn we're going to try and push to the right hand side, because I just didn't really fancy playing in that sort of fight at the sort of J1-2 area with artillery shooting down at you. Can just be a little bit awkward when you're bottom tier. But again, even though we are bottom tier, we still want to just get into the fight. We're going to push to an aggressive position early. Hopefully we get there before we get spotted. We don't want to get spotted too early. We do get spotted, so we may eat one here. Thankfully he derps his shot, and now we're safe behind cover. And we're going to keep pushing forward. I want to trap these guys in this position. We do have a few tanks with us who can get shots in. If I can keep all these tanks detected, they could potentially get shot from our artillery, or the tanks covering at the back might be able to get shots in. And that's my initial plan, is just to keep these detected. Be a bit careful, because if they're all sitting there waiting, I don't want to eat a load of shots, poking this corner. So we are going to poke forward. Now this medium makes an interesting play. Yeah, I'm not sure what he's doing there, but to be honest, he's just throwing away his tier 10 heavy, which is good for us, but we didn't really pick up any assistance for it. But we do get one shot in, and like I say, with that tank being killed, it's going to hopefully make our life a little bit easier. So we've got a huntsman in front of us. We know there was another like 2 tanks or spotted this way, I think, at the beginning, so there is more tanks there. Just trying to get rid of this distractible cover here, so we've got easier shots into the huntsman, and hopefully we can try and get another shot into him, and just start. So if we can track him in place, it'd be nice. So we're just having a quick look at what are the other tanks with this huntsman, just trying to check what the hit points are. I think we spotted a FE1005 there as well, so that's something we have obviously got to be careful of, because he could take away a majority of our hit points, and even one shot us if he pencils with the Hesh round and gets a good roll. So that's something we got to be conscious of. Enemy Sturv gets spotted around the corner here. I fire the rockets here just on the random chance that he pushes forward into the rockets. Not really expecting anything to have come from that, but why not? Now, the AMX here, we could actually kill with the rockets. Unfortunately, this is what you have to be a bit careful with the rockets, because I was looking for the shots, but you've got to realise I'm on the side of your turret, and half of my rockets just went straight into the rock. Because obviously I wasn't trying to poke that much, because I didn't want to eat loads of damage for it. So hopefully we've got the kill here, we get the finish. Not too bad, we only lose like 1 pen maybe of damage for killing the tank, getting rid of him for that position. Huntsman has now moved forward, we get a shot in, unfortunately only tracks him in place. Going to try and retrack him though. If we can keep him tracked here, he should get shot by our team, and we actually get a few shots in there with our rockets. I don't full pen all of them, but you know, it does just, whilst I was on reload, helps us get that little bit of extra damage. Now we permanently, we tracked him in place here. Hopefully we can just pick up the kill. He does get taken out, bringing us to 2,000 damage and 1 kill. And now we're just being careful of these tanks pushing behind us, as well as you can see the Fun Police was looking to shoot us, so I don't want to give him any opportunity. But this enemy F3005 now, obviously he can one-shot us here, but also we can do a lot of damage with the rockets. You see we penned one of them there, then we pen another 2, and we just take away a lot of his hit points, and that's where the rockets are fun, when you fight tanks like that. He did shoot, by the way, that's why I'm staying out here, because I know he's got quite a long reload. But he's probably coming to the end of his reload now, so this is where I have to be careful. He did manage to park himself behind a bit of a wreck, which makes it awkward to hit with the rockets. But you can see I think 3 of them penned maybe, and we took away a lot of his hit points. Now he's on a potential one-shot to us here, as long as we don't low roll. But we are also on a one-shot. But the artillery is looking for us, so we need to try and get up and close to this rock in front of us to stop the artillery having shots at us. Then the enemy F3005 gets taken out by a friendly Dragon. And we're going to see if we can get some more shots in. Enemy Sturv gets spotted there. He misses his shot. We shoot the rockets just because I'm liking shooting the rockets right now. And we actually pen a couple of them and puts them onto a one-shot. Hopefully we can finish him off, and if we can get a shot through his cupola there. Again, I just thought I'd try and finish him off with the rockets, but it didn't quite work. And we ate an unnecessary shot, which is not ideal. And we can't eat another shot off of him because we're now a one-shot. But he does, I think, gets taken out. Yeah, he does get taken out. And then there's a Tran, and I think this Tran is fired. The Tran only has 30 millimeter of armor. We can pen this tank. Oh, that was satisfying. We penned all 4 shots onto that Tran. Unfortunately now I think I'm dead, because the Tran is probably going to come round and I can't escape here. He is a one-shot. I need my mediums because I can't escape right now. There's nothing I can do. But yeah, we do end up getting taken out. But it was well worth it, I think, for getting those shots into a Turan. Bit of revenge into a Turan. It's a shame our mediums kept pushing around, because if they stayed with me, they probably could have finished him before he got a chance to kill me. And then I could have stayed alive for this game, potentially got some more. But, you know, bottom tier, we do get like 5,000 damage. Let's skip to the end, because, yeah, spoiler alert, we win this one. Let's move on to see how we got on. Okay, as you can see, we do get the victory. We managed to pick up 1 kill, 5,000 damage, 490 assistance. Unfortunately, it was only first class, even though it was over 2,000 base XP, which is usually enough for an ace. But I think because we died at the end, we could have had more. We could have had more out of that game. Such a shame that Tran didn't get taken out. But yeah, that was a fun replay to play. To be honest, when I was penning those rockets, which doesn't always happen, but when it does, it's quite funny. So that is it for the replay. Thank you so much for watching. If you do like it, please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. And as always, happy tanking.
Enemy in sight. Hadouken!